Hello, everyone. It's Brian. Welcome back to my Smiths ranking part 2. This will be tracks 64 through 55. And already there is feedback pouring in on part 1, as anyone would have expected. This is my ranking, and it sort of is informed by, where I was when I heard these songs, what I was doing, who I was with, that kind of thing. And the same is true for anyone else. So, I expect people to say that song that you put at, 50 should be in the top 20. That's totally understandable. It's just what I decided to do. Yeah, so as we move up the list, we get more and more of Morrissey's lyrics. He does like literary allusions, and there's plenty of that in his music, poetry as well. One of the things I find interesting about him is that he has claimed to have chosen the path of abstinence, which is interesting because his lyrics might not suggest that. The other thing is that there's always been this intense curiosity about what his sexuality actually is. But for me, if you look at the lyrics, there's no debate. I mean, it's pretty obvious what what his orientation is, in my opinion. So yeah, without any further delay, let's just start at number 64. Some song had to be 64, and for me, it's a track that comes from Strange Ways, Here We Come. Strange Ways being a prison in Europe, or prison in England. I've never been to the prison, but I've heard about it. This is the fourth record for 1987. It has a fuller sound, if you ask me. They still have the jangly pop thing, but they've added saxophones and keyboards and synths and strings, so it's a different kind of sound, a more diverse sound. And by the way, both Johnny Marr and Morrissey have chosen this as their favorite Smiths record, as did one other member of the band, I can't remember who, and so do legions of people. In my opinion, this is not the best Smiths record, but that's just my opinion. So I've chosen at number 64 a track called Death at One's Elbow, the second last song on side 2. And it's not that I don't like the song. I like the music. I think it has a good sound to it. It's got a nice groove to it. The song is very, 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 very repetitive. He sings, "Oh, Glenn, don't come to the house tonight." Who was Glenn? Glenn may be a lover or a lover or a former lover. It's hard to say. And he's warning him not to come to the house tonight. There's someone here who loves you, but also he sings, "Don't come to the house tonight because there's someone here who'll take a hatchet to your ear." I don't know exactly why that would be the case. Kind of a gruesome line from Morrissey, but there's blood in other Morrissey lyrics that we will see. So again, not a terrible song, and I don't hate any of these songs. They're just not, in my opinion, good enough to rank higher. So the lyrics are interesting here. The music is interesting. I find it a little too repetitive and didn't quite make it higher than 60. Well, didn't make it higher than 64. So at 63, I chose a track from Meat is Murder. Meat is Murder is the band's second record from 1985. If you look at this image here, this is a photograph from the Vietnam War, and originally the helmet had writing on it that said "Make Love Not War," but the Smiths changed it to "Meat is Murder." And so for number 63, I've chosen the track "Meat is Murder," which is the last song on side 2. And I guess you'd call that Morrissey's plea for vegetarianism. He's always been a vegetarian as far as I know. That's come through in some of his riders and contracts for venues that he's played and whatnot. Apparently, when this album came out, he gave sort of a decree or a proclamation to the band that they not be photographed eating meat at the time. So, and I'm not going to disagree with his preferences. He can eat what he wants and agitate or advocate for what he wants. Totally fine. I'm not opposed to vegetarianism. But the track itself is probably a little bit longer than it needs to be, and it has this really the slow, mournful build up to the song where you hear cows mooing. Are they going to the slaughterhouse? I don't know. Are they playing in the field? Who knows? But it just seems like it's too long. And the song itself is fine. I mean, his message is maybe a little heavy-handed. Heifer whines, could be human cries. Closer comes the screaming knife. This beautiful creature must die. And later he sings, "And the flesh you so fancifully fry is not succulent, tasty, or kind. It's death for no reason, and death for no reason is murder." And that's in capital letters. The murder's in capital letters. So again, not opposed to the message in any way. It's just I don't think the song is as good as it could be. Number 62, also from Strange Ways, Here We Come. is the last track on side two. It closes out the album, and it's called "I Won't Share You," which is a very quiet, probably heartfelt, romantic song from Morrissey. The lyrics aren't bad, but the song itself I find to be a little underwhelming. It's sung with emotion for sure. He sings, "I won't share you, no, I won't share you," with the drive and the dreams inside. This is my time. Maybe it's a breakup song. Maybe he doesn't want to share Johnny Marr and the rest of the guys from someone else. I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, that's also from 1987, of course. At number 61, put it down again. But another track from Strange Ways, Here We Come, and this is "Unhappy Birthday." Now that's a kind of a curious song. It's classic Morrissey humor. "I've come to wish you an unhappy birthday." Imagine saying to someone, "I've come to say unhappy birthday to you." Apparently, that song is a favorite track of Johnny Marr. By the way, the previous track, "I Won't Share You," was covered by a band called Sixpence None the Richer, if you know that band. Any case, "Unhappy Birthday." "I've come to wish you an unhappy birthday, 'cause you're evil and you lie, and if you should die, I may feel slightly sad, but I won't cry." Again, classic, funny Morrissey. Is he really being serious? Is he really wishing someone an unhappy birthday? Is he really not gonna cry? It's funny that death is in there again, and it's funny. So again, but it didn't raise on my. It didn't make it farther up on the list than that spot. I dropped this one. Number 60 is a track from this compilation called "Hatful of Hollow." This is my UK pressing. I happen to have a Canadian one as well. This is an early, the second full-length they released, but it's a compilation of BBC Studio One recordings, singles and B-sides. And the track I chose on here for place number 60 is "Girl Afraid," which is a track I probably liked better way back in the day than I do now, but it's actually a really good song. And in fact, I like all of these songs. These are the ones that never made it higher on the list, but I like them all. It's actually a clever idea for a song. The music is really good. It's about a boy and a girl not knowing what the other one is thinking. That classic situation I think we've all been in. Like, what are your intentions? What are your intentions? What are you thinking? And it's actually, I think, a pretty good song. It's just that I'm not sure that it really works out in the final analysis. Like, I think it's good, but I just think it could be better. I think the lyrics kind of misfired a little bit. Number 59, I chose a track from their debut record from 1984, and the track I chose is "Suffer Little Children." A very moody track. Now, this song is about the Moors murders from 1963 to 1965, and children, I guess, were murdered during that time, and it sort of struck a chord with Morrissey because they were the same age that he would have been in that era, 63 to 65. So he wrote this song. Some of the families of the victims weren't happy about it, were angry with him. Some stores refused to sell this record because of that song. At some point in the future, he was able to meet with at least one person from one family, and they reconciled, and she understood that his intentions were honorable, that he wasn't trying to make money out of it or whatever. But I mean, the track is very mellow, ultimately possibly a little boring. One thing interesting about that is that Courtney Love's band Hole used to play this in concert from some. I've never heard it, but I've been told this. So he sings, "Over the moor, take me to the moor, dig a shallow grave, and I'll lie me down." So again, about death, but in this case, not his own, or someone he knows. It's like other people. So it fits the mood of the record very well. It's just a little bit underwhelming. So the next track, number 58, I've chosen another track from Hatful of Hollow called "Accept Yourself." And I would say a bit of self-loathing in the song, a bit of the idea that nothing good ever happens to him. So he sings, "I am sick and I am dull and I am plain." That's, again, Morrissey making negative comments about himself. "Oh, but dreams have a knack of just not coming true." Poor luck for Morrissey. And then later he sings, "But I once had a dream and it never came true." And then he sings, "And time is against me now." So that line always cracks me up because when this came out, he was only 25, and imagine singing at the age of 25 that time is against you now. Like, it just seems really funny. So that there's humor there, which I like. The self-deprecating humor I think is quite funny, and it's actually not a bad song. It just didn't make it higher than that on my list. So that was number 58. Number 57, going back to this record, is Well, I Wonder, which is actually a really good song. I really like it. It just, maybe with different production I would like it better. It's mellowish, very acoustic, and it just didn't. It's kind of an emotional track too, like I Won't Share You, but it didn't make it higher than that. I mean, some of the things he says in the song are really quite interesting. Well, I wonder, do you hear me when you sleep? Do you see me when we pass? Please keep me in mind. The sort of pleading for companionship or love. Gasping but somehow still alive. This is the fierce last stand of all I am. So I do like those lyrics, but in totality, I'm not sure the song is actually as good as the lyrics are. And then we have a track that I'm going to pull from The World Won't Listen. This is the 1987 UK comp. It's shorter than Louder Than Bombs, but it has a number of singles and B-sides. And the track that I've chosen as number 56 is a track called Asleep. Interestingly featuring Johnny Marr on piano. Again, a morbid song about contemplation of death and maybe the afterlife. So he says, sing me to sleep and then leave me alone. Don't try to wake me in the morning because I will be gone. And I think it's pretty clear he's thinking about death. He's dying and he's going away. So another song about death. There are so many in the Smiths catalog. And it's a good song. It just ended up at 56. And then at number 55, I thought I'd get this under 10 minutes, but I guess I talked too much, is a track I chose for 55 is also for Meat is Murder, called I Want the One I Can't Have, 1985. A song about unrequited love, but it's a real rocker. It's got a good pace to it. It's got a good sound to it. And just in terms of lyrics, he sings a tough kid who sometimes swallows nails, raised on prisoner's aid. He killed a policeman when he was 13, and somehow that really impressed me, but it's written all over my face. And then later he sings, and if you ever need self-validation, just meet me in the alley by the railway station. Another plea for a connection or romance or whatever he's going to get in the alley beside the railway station. So for me, one of the better songs from Meat is Murder. So I would be curious what you think about these. I know not everyone will agree. The funny thing is, I didn't look at any lists of rankings of Smith songs until I had finished this. And I thought, okay, I'll look now. And some of them were surprising. And I remember seeing a comment on, might have been a YouTube video or a post somewhere where someone said, Well, I Wonder, which I put at 57, the person said it's my favorite Smith song. And I thought, how could it be that your favorite Smith song ended up as number 57 on my list? But probably because of some emotional event related to that song, or where the person was, or what they were doing. So it did cause me to think, oh my God, did I really misjudge that song? And maybe I have. So I'd be curious if you feel I've misjudged any of these songs. If I'm really that far off, I'd be curious to know. But all I'll say is part 3 is coming up, and thanks for watching.